Holy crap. Welcome to the fucking show, people. As you might notice, there's not very many of us here. Because, you know, stuff happens and people don't show up. And I hate them for it. Anyway, so yeah, we're still here. We're still going to play some Zweihander tonight. We got low light mode on to kind of set the mood, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know. So last time we were here, we were short on people too. We only have 4 people, and of those 4, Dan's the only one. So...
I was violently ill.
Yeah, and Chris was in Utah talking about joining some new clubs.
Yep, Utah.
How many people tried to convert you while you were out there?
Yeah.
Think more, worry less. Utah.
I don't know. So, yeah, we're going to play some Zweihander. We're continuing on. I got so many notifications. We're continuing on our run through Bitter Harvest, the starting adventure for the Zweihander RPG found in this book. I'd also like to give a couple plugs if we can. As always, Demir1983, you're the fucking best. Thanks for coming by. Next up, I'd like to thank the Zweihander crew. A couple Saturdays ago, Jake and I went up to Kansas City to play some Zweihander with Dan Fox, the guy who wrote this fucking book. And he ran the old Warhammer adventure, A Night of Blood. Amazing fucking adventure. And while we were there, he gave me this. Main Gauche doesn't come out till September 10th. Unless you're cool like me and he gave you a copy early, or if you happen to be at Gen Con this weekend, he's selling them at the booth. He's selling a limited number at the booth. So still, a very small number of us. Also, from the Zweihander crew, my boy Adam, they're at the Ennies at the awards show right now. So they don't get to watch any of this live. But anyway, Adam, our first patron here on Defenders of Cobalt, he is giving us money every month, which is very cool of him.
Nice.
Also, he's working on a new settings book. I don't know how you call it, for Zweihander, called Radiator. Post-apocalyptic goodness. Campaign setting, kind of a reskin. Anyway, post-apocalyptic goodness using the Zweihander rule set. If you want to catch some of those alpha playtests, he's actually putting them out on the Zweihander Patreon. You can sign up and you can get access to those podcasts. And I've played in one so far, and at the end of this month, I'll play in another one. So you'll get to hear my voice on theirs. So sign up for their Patreon to get access to that cool shit. What else do we need to talk about? Is that it?
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. As always, sponsored by Libris Arcana.
Yes.
Our ad man's fucking
Not
out
here.
sick today.
I
So
know, and there was supposed to be really awesome.
yeah, we were supposed to have a good one.
Yeah. Next time.
Next time.
There's always good ones.
Yeah. I was really looking forward to Rowboat Cop though.
Demir, I feel bad for asking people in person. I just spam the shit out of people on Twitter. Like, it feels less guilty that way. But anyway, sponsored by Libris Arcana. They're a great fucking company. They make great dice. They sell great dice. You can sign up for subscription services. You can get that shit monthly or quarterly. And if you do, I'm looking for a picture on my phone. I don't know if it'll show up. If you can see
I think
that.
I just saw that weird little video flip thing you were talking about. I think you just did it.
That's their next set. So if you got their quarterly service and you're getting it this month, you'll get the Dark Crystal set. If not, it'll show up in next month's for your monthly subscription. Anyway, use discount code Cobalt at checkout and you get 20% off your first subscription box thing.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's a heckin' good time, yo.
Heckin' good time. That's enough talk. Let's play the fucking game. Dan, do you remember what happened last time?
We went out of the town. We saw some people.
let's roll back because there is more that happened before that.
Yeah, I feel bad for saying it, but it was a very, very long week that last week that we played, and about all I actually remember is going to Kit and Burgers.
Oh, that's great. So last session, it
And
was
even that I don't remember well.
It was definitely. Oh, I saw the little flip here on our camera too.
Yeah, it's ours specifically that keeps
Is
doing
that
this
camera
weird
still
like.
on? The other one?
No, I turned it off.
Okay. Well, never mind.
You can
Wait,
always.
did you turn it off? Did you mute
I
it in OBS?
disabled
Or
it.
is it? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah,
You guys can always migrate.
yeah. I don't know what's.
That was
going
on the cards.
Yeah.
You did everything right. I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, Tool to Twitch has got it right. I had like 4 hours of shit prepared, and they ran through it in like an hour flat. And then I
Speedrun.
just pulled shit. Yeah, they speed ran it, and then I just pulled shit out of my ass for an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't even on purpose.
Tons of frame perfect inputs.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So what happened last time? You guys set out. You left Swansea, and you traveled to. You started off the journey to Vorburg, escorting Maximilian and his bride Helena. You guys were. Some of you were on horseback, scouting up ahead with the mercenary Andre. Someone was riding shotgun with a coach driver.
I was in the wagon with
The luggage and shit. Oh, you were inside.
I was inside.
Okay, one of them rode.
Hobnobbing.
Dan rode inside of the carriage with Maximilian, Helena, and Helena's friend Bibi, and then the rest rode on the essentially the luggage wagon, hanging out. And as you guys were riding along, the scouts went ahead and they found a battle scene. And it was the bride's gift, that a wagon with the big bale of hemp that they were supposed to deliver. And all of the horses were slaughtered, and all of the people escorting it were dead, killed by arrows.
All the loot was left.
All the loot was left. Everything was left. So they very briefly went, yeah, they're all dead. Let's go back, talk to Maximilian.
Oh.
Pretty much. Andre did spend.
Didn't investigate at all.
I remember kind of why, I think, because we tried to guess the nature of the arrows and some things like that, and I thought it was going to be like an ambush for the king. So I was thinking, like, we need to like get them going.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Maybe you overhyped combat being perilous, and they were
Well,
afraid of it.
That might be
That's
true, but I
right.
also remember Andre. I think Andre said like they're probably gone or not here by now, or they don't attack. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't
Let's
know.
move on.
We're gonna
I
die
do remember
if we stay
having
here.
the thought
Let's
that
go
it
back.
was like this could be an ambush to try and kill the king or something
Yeah.
like that.
So you guys went back.
Probably misformed.
You sold it off to Maximilian. Well, you weren't even. Oh, the scouts came back and got the rest of the party, and you guys went and checked it out. Said, "Huh, yeah, they're all dead," and went back. And you told Maximilian what happened, and he's like, "Oh shit."
Did they bring the hemp back?
No, they didn't.
Well, and that's the thing is we talked about going back there, and I thought maybe we would go back and investigate it more.
Okay, no, you guys went to the town, or you went back and you told Maximilian. Maximilian's like, "Oh shit!" So Maximilian crawled in the carriage with his bride and his bride's friend. I already have a guy. What's the hash marks and the questions? Anyway. Oh yeah, there was the weird little video blip again. Are we froze?
No. Yes.
Oh, Chris's head is just stuck in a weird position.
Oh, yes.
That's all it is.
Oh, he's pouring beverage.
You guys just stopped moving, all in really odd positions for a very long time.
It's true.
We're good at that.
Something I could try and do is just turn the camera off and turn it back on.
Let's.
Just deactivate and reactivate it.
I froze while taking a sip
We're
there for a
flippy
minute.
tonight. It's all right. It'll last us to a break.
We're just flip floppy all over the place.
Try and slap that link up again there, Demir.
Whoa.
So you guys went back and told the women that there was a dead horse on the road. Oh, Charles says quit messing with it. It looks fine. On break, we'll talk about messing with it again.
Yep.
But right now, let's just move on and ignore it. So you guys went back and told the women there's a dead horse in the road because you guys were technically telling the truth, and closed all the shutters on the carriage and rode off to town. One thing you guys did pick up, Dan, and I don't remember who it was who noticed, but when you got to town, the town of Vorburg is surrounded by like hemp fields, like massive hemp fields, and they were just completely
desolate. Yeah.
desolate. The hemp was all there, but there was no one out there. So you kind of asked, like, shouldn't there be people out there? And Andre was like, yeah, normally there's people out working the fields at this time, like, because it was like going up on evening, so there was still light. So you guys pulled up to the town, got let inside,
Slacker town.
found out. I don't
Some people
remember
were
what
missing.
tipped off the. Well, there was at the battle site. Maximilian asked about this guy Heinrich, who is an old friend of his. He says Heinrich was in charge of escorting it. Did you find his body? And Andre's like, no, I looked. He wasn't there. So Maximilian's like, oh, cool, he survived.
Yeah, that's what that means.
Uh-huh. So you guys
Okay.
went to the town, and rather than asking around the town about what was going on, you guys went to the tavern, and Alex started a fight with the innkeeper.
Oh, okay.
Alex threw a sword at him.
Wow, I don't remember.
I remember
that.
something about a fake sword.
It was like
That's the
a
only
sword
bit of-
you buy at that one weird shop in the mall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I for some reason don't remember that happening. At
Yeah.
all.
Alex threw a fucking sword at him.
Dang.
That was like
So
the
it was
only
like
part I
a-
was conscious for. when I was
Dull
watching.
edge, but you could still easily stab someone with it.
Yeah, but he didn't like throw it like he just like tossed it at him like.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Okay. It's slowly starting to come back to me.
I remember
his
wasn't it like
his Goblin Slayer sword or something. Like
Yeah.
That.
but
That hadn't
it was
slain
like
goblins.
decorative or something, right? didn't
It was
feel,
up on like a placard. Yeah, and it was like a decorative sword.
It didn't feel
Battle ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of
The only thing it killed was space on their wall.
exactly. And that's kind of where you guys left off. Well, no, that's not true. That night, you got a summons, and you met this guy named Waldman. He's actually Maximilian's son. And he said, we found something. I need you guys to come with me. And he wouldn't say what it was. So he took you guys outside of the wall.
It wasn't puppies.
It wasn't puppies. And around one side of the wall, it wasn't an ambush. It was Heinrich impaled on a stake,
Oh,
dead as shit. And his young son, Dieter, was also with him and also dead.
also on a stake.
Also on a stake.
Mm.
So you guys helped him.
Clearly, they were vampires. Somebody's
Apparently.
doing us a favor.
Yeah. So
That's
you
the only
guys
reason.
you guys helped Waldman pull the guys
Gotcha.
down. He was going to have the bodies taken care of in the morning, but he didn't want it to get out because he didn't want to cause panic inside the town. Because the town at this point is under the impression that bandits raided or some shit like that.
Wait, how old was his son?
Like 10 maybe.
He was just a boy.
Just a boy.
Yeah.
He
Alright.
was a boy.
And that's
No, he's a
pretty much where you guys. Yeah, he's a popsicle. He's a kebab.
yeah.
You guys
He's a
then
kebabi.
traveled back to the tavern, and I'm gonna say you guys passed out for the night.
All right.
Yes, which also happened in real life.
Is Yieldy battle scene still within this decent range of
It's within
revisiting?
travel, yeah. But once again, you guys are crashing for the night at the
Mhm.
I don't remember the fucking name of it. It's up there. What's the first one?
The Shrine of the,
The
God Emperor.
cowardly orcs.
Oh, that's it. I'm sorry. It's not that. It's the Cowardly Orcs. It's an inn. You guys are crashing there. But as morning rolls around, you guys are stirring a little bit, trying to get a thought. Like, you're like, maybe we should go check out that battle scene. But it's at about that time, a hurried, frantic knock is at your door. of the tavern room or your room in the inn.
Can someone answer that with a really effeminate, who is it?
Who is it?
There it is.
And you hear an excited voice respond back. It's Klaus. Maximilian. He summoned. He asked me to come get you guys. Can you guys come with me? I'll take you to Maximilian.
We met Klaus. Have I met Klaus?
Klaus is the serving boy at the tavern here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys would have met Klaus before. He definitely, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Okay.
But he really fucking hates orcs.
Oh.
Because he was talking to you guys, like he hates orcs because he lost his, and this is, I don't think that's right. Initially, I said he lost his mom in the attack that happened like 12 years ago. But that's not accurate. I have to retcon that. He says he hates orcs because of what they did to everyone in this town like 12 years ago. And he's just like, if he ever sees an orcs, he's going to kill him because he's not going to let them take his mom like the orcs took everyone else's moms.
I don't know what the lore on orcs is in Zweihander world.
Orcs are... Roll me a
Are they
folklore test.
Okay. This is percentile, right?
Yeah, percentile. Demir, also, we're playing Zweihander here, so it's not ORC orc. It's ORX orc. This is going to be, I'm just going to call this a standard test. So you're going
I'm
to...
not sure where folklore is.
Folklore is going to be under
Oh,
intelligence.
Wait, do you want to roll low or?
You want to roll
there it
low.
is.
What's your
Yeah.
intelligence score?
33, or my score is
Yeah, you're-
4.
No, the
40?
first one.
33.
Okay, so your score is 33. Do you have any points in folklore?
I do not.
Okay, so you have to roll, and it's a standard test, so I'm not adjusting the difficulty. So you would have to roll under your score. So you rolled a 5.
I rolled a 91.
You have no fucking clue. You haven't even heard about it before. What's your class? You're a jailer?
Yeah.
There haven't been any orcs in any of my jails. How the fuck am I supposed to know what that is? So that's kind of your attitude on it.
Maybe I can roll horribly and see if I can come up with anything.
If you guys want to try and make a folklore test,
I really want to know as a person.
this is kind of nice too, being in a new system.
Yeah.
There's
I don't
none of
actually, I can't metagame as much
nice.
as I want to.
that. Yeah.
I'll bet I know what orcs are.
Well, I sure don't. If it's a standard challenge, I roll it just a little too
Well,
high.
also, Chris, you're the oldest one, right?
I'm a halfling. I am some age.
I did make a
Twice as
great joke,
fast.
though. We
What
need
was
to get
yours?
us a big old batch of orcs to clean.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm 62.
It's bad.
So I'm actually young as halflings go, right?
Well, what's your age range?
My age range.
Right. I made a mistake. I don't want to use the actual numbers we rolled. When you rolled that, it would have been
Oh, adult.
you're an adult.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. What did you roll again? Did you succeed?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I succeeded.
So
If
you
it's
know.
standard. Yeah, my intelligence 40. I rolled 27.
Okay.
So.
You know orcs. Nobody knows how orcs come around. But they're these big, giant, piggish monsters that carry a disease with them called fucking shit.
Orc
What is-
flu.
Orcs a lot.
Orxalot, Sir Orxalot. I don't even fucking remember.
Terminal gay.
No, Joe. No.
Okay.
That's gotta get us banned there.
Jeez.
It could have synonyms.
It could have cinnamons.
That's it.
I'm tired, man. It's been a long week.
There's a certain
Has been
plague.
a
I
long
don't
week.
want to waste the time looking it up. Like Horcrux or some shit. And it, gets people sick and kills them if you get infected with it. But you don't know how people get infected with it. You just know they carry it. These giant, brooding, pig-like people. They live in little groups called war bands,
Okay.
and they're just savage raiders.
Okay.
Like no premeditation. Their entire MO in life is to raid and kill and plunder.
If there was
Okay.
pizzas ordered, the pizzas are here now.
Oh, I guess that will be me.
Okay. So you go get that. We'll get you caught up.
Okay.
So that's what you know about orcs.
Okay. So I stumble over to the door, and I'm like, Jesus! What? Are there orcs downstairs or something? Why are you so... What's going on?
Maximilian, he summoned you guys. Can you guys come with me, please? He needs to see you right away.
Hey, all right.
So you follow Klaus?
Yeah.
Like, he's so excited about this that he's almost like half running to Maximilian's mansion for the town. And he leads you to Maximilian's house, and he raps on the door. And this elderly woman, I say elderly, this middle-aged woman, definitely older than any other woman in town, though. She answers the door. Klaus, if you knock on my door that hard again, I am going to tan your hide. And he's like, sorry, Maximilian, he Mr. Steger, he had me get these, and he wants to talk to him right now.
Did you just refer to us as V's?
Yes? Maybe? I don't know. We're going to go see
Alright.
Maximilian. And the woman, she's like,
Wait, what?
just hurry up and get up there before you piss yourself, boy. Come on.
Now I know there's pizza behind me.
Indeed.
Yep.
So,
We still got a good half hour or so before we're ready for a break.
yeah. So she stands to the side, and Klaus runs you guys up the stairs almost. And he goes to a door kind of off the top of the stairs, and he raps on it real hard. And you hear Andre call out back to him, like, who is it? And Klaus does his overexcited spiel. Like, get in. And you guys all walk in. And you see Maximilian sitting in a chair by a fire. Standing next to the window, you see Waldman. And then you see Andre. He comes over to the door and he sees you in. Maximilian's like, oh, come here, Klaus. And Klaus comes over and he drops a handful of pennies in Klaus's hands. He's like, get out of here. And out Klaus goes. So Maximilian's like, oh, it's great of you guys to come by this early in the morning.
Care to tell us what the occasion is?
Yes. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of meeting my son here. And Waldman. Yes, here he is. Waldman. And you guys would have met him the night before when you helped him retrieve Heinrich and Dieter's body.
Okay.
And Maximilian's like, I know I've asked a lot of you already, but I'm going to ask some more. So, Waldman here is an idea. He thinks, and I am inclined to agree with him, that it's mutants attacking. Orcs.
Yeah. Filthy orcs.
He has an idea. If they're in the area, and let me confirm what I'm about to tell you.
Why don't we burn the whole area to the ground?
Then there'll be nothing to attack.
Foolproof.
He's like, I know the rumor in town is going around that it's bandits. And I'm happy to let them all think that it's bandits. But I feel confident that it's the mutants again.
Mutants.
The X-Men.
Last night, after you guys helped Waldman get Heinrich and Dieter's body down, and he does a little prayer like, God rest their souls. Waldman here, he's quite a bit of a woodsman and a tracker. And he was able to track them back as far as the Old Hill Road. He's fairly certain that if it's the mutants we're thinking about, they're going to be camping in the old cave under the summit of the Horned Monk.
What's the equivalent of a insight check? Is that scrutinize or is that interrogation?
Scrutinize, yeah.
Fuck.
Actually, is it? Yeah, I'll call scrutinize. Did you fail?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe him.
So if you'll look on the image here, you can see that Vorburg is kind of down below there. And then you can see the giant mountain. That's where they think the mutants are camping. That mountain is called the Horned Monk. And there's a cave at the bottom of it.
I want to go visit that giant shield.
Yeah? Thanks, Joe.
Bet
Waldman
that's got
here.
great AC.
Yeah.
He knows a path around it to get up to take a peek and see what's going on in that cave. A way you guys could get in there undetected. And that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you guys to go with Waldman and scout out what's going on up there. This is a scouting mission, mind you. I don't want you to get caught. If maybe you see there's something you can do to maybe tip the odds in our favor, that's fine. But the most important thing is to gather information, see what's going on, how many of them there are, because there's quite a few things. I believe it's the mutants. Andre is pretty certain it's mutants based off of the battle scene where the hemp was.
Wait.
But there's some odd stuff going on.
So he tracked them and found where they were.
He tracked them back up to the old mill road. I don't know where that's at on the map. Anyway, he tracked them essentially to the forest line, and he's just like on this path through the forest.
The only thing left is
that cave. It leads straight to that cave, and the path is large enough that a decent sized troop of mutants or an army or something could actually go hide in that cave and get easy access to the town.
Okay.
So that's what he thinks is going on. And Waldman knows a back way around it, so you guys can get a flank on the camp or the cave where he thinks they're camped out at.
Okay.
And that's what he wants you guys to do. Is he's like, something's fishy. I don't like it. Something's odd, because I haven't heard any rumors. Like if there was rumors of an orc war band moving through, the road wardens would have put the word out, or we would have heard sounds or other attacks. But that's
not been the case.
Yeah, something's definitely afoot, and I need you guys to go look and find out what's going on.
There's nothing worse than
Reminds me
stinky
of
feet.
my goblins
Your goblins?
in my campaign.
Oh yeah,
The goblins that just singled out that one farmer.
yeah. It's exactly, yeah. It's pretty close to that. Also, the only mutants that are familiar with Vorburg would know about that cave too, and they would know it's there.
Is this battle site on this way?
No, the battle site is off towards where it says off towards Swansea. It's maybe a 3-hour ride.
So if these are the mutants, they would have had to go through the town.
They would have probably traveled around the town. They would have probably stuck to the forest around the town.
Okay.
So they probably got scouts or something like that moving around. And they saw that the wagon, the bride's groom or the bride's gift wagon going out, and they probably moved around and flanked it.
So they're not like totally. They use scouts and stuff. They're not.
Yeah, which is, orc
Somewhat
war
advanced.
band scouting. That's not unheard of.
Hmm.
They're definitely not known for siege.
Okay.
So this is definitely, there's a lot that's really odd here.
So we might get in a tussle with some enemy scouts.
That's a possibility. But I want you to guys, because it's, it's maybe like 9 or 10. And Waldman kind of steps in. He's like, it's to do this, to get where we need to go and then get back before sundown. Because I don't want to be out at sundown if we can help it. We need to leave right at sunup. So we're going to leave tomorrow morning, first thing.
Okay.
So you guys make yourselves comfy for the night.
So say we leave right at sun up
Uh-huh.
and travel there. It's a half day's travel there, and then
Yeah.
we can travel back.
Yeah. With
So
the
how
way...
much, how much time would that leave us to survey?
If the travel goes quickly, we may have like up to an hour or two. If we want to push it and risk coming back at night, we could watch a little bit longer. Because we're going to move around it and we're going to come kind of down the eastern slope there, or the western slope. So we're going to be, some of it's going to be some climbing. And so it just depends on how quickly we move.
Okay.
So I'm hoping, if we can poke our heads up and get the information we need and leave a few minutes later, that's fine. If we need to, we could probably linger around for an hour or two. And if we wanted to risk traveling back at night, I really don't want to, then we could watch even longer if we
Are there
need to.
other known dangers in the area?
You just moving through the woods, there might be, wolves or something like that. A lot of the woods, kind of through the area we're going to be moving through, at least until we get to the Horned Monk. A lot of that's cultivated for firewood. We hunt wild boar in there.
It's not unknown, uncontrolled. But...
Right. It's not pure wilderness, but it's, it is a forest and it deserves our respect.
All right.
Sound like a plan?
Yep.
All right.
Right.
Well, you've got your day.
Let's get it.
We'll leave in the morning.
All right.
So
So
what time is it? It's early morning.
It's like
now.
9 or 10 right
So
now.
he wants to leave tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he wants to leave first thing in the morning, tomorrow
Okay.
morning.
So
So we got a full day.
You got a full day.
We could possibly investigate the previous scene, or do we have things that we should be doing?
It's up to you guys. You guys can ask around town, see if anyone's heard anything.
What happened? So I wasn't player when we found the bodies of the people in town that were staked.
Yeah.
I'd be really curious about those.
He would say that they've already had him buried, but Waldman was there. So if you want to ask Waldman any questions, he'll tell you what he can.
Because I would have been really curious to tell, like, if they died before they were staked or something like that, and try and autopsy it a little bit.
Yeah. Waldman, I'll tell you what, I'll roll a healing check. I think that would be appropriate. I'm going to roll knowledge heal.
I feel like my jailer or torturer character would be pretty interested in stuff like that.
Waldman pass. He's like, no, they were definitely tortured.
Okay.
And it looks like they were killed before they were put on those stakes.
Okay.
There was a lot of wounds on them, and they probably were dead before that happened. And then Andre is also there in the room, and he did a pretty good job of inspecting that battle site. So if you guys want to ask him questions, you can, or if you want to just go and check it out yourself, Andre would probably trust you guys to head out there.
Yeah. Maybe check it out myself and then cross-reference with him when I get back.
Okay. So does that sound like a plan? Is that what you guys want to do?
Yeah, unless there's anything else pressing that we might...
There's nothing else in town. Essentially, you guys got the day. There are some things you could go look at. There are some people you could talk to. I kind of put it up, minimize some of the points of interest in town. Of course, there's I can't even see it. It's that worst one, the Cowardly Orcs Tavern. You guys already there. Klaus is there. You did get into an argument with Horst, the guy who runs it, so he's not a big fan of you guys right now.
All right.
There's also the Shrine of the God Emperor.
Is this a big enough town that they'd have, like, guards and stuff posted at all hours?
Well, currently they do. They have a lot of the laborers who are working the fields, and they've kind of deputized them. And so they're kind of keeping watch. There's a small force of their own guards in town, but they're supplementing their numbers with the migrant laborers.
So somehow these bodies were staked up in town.
Not in town.
They were
outside of town.
Outside of town?
Yeah.
In the fields, pretty much.
Out in the fields, yeah.
Okay.
Where there was supposed to be scarecrows. The scarecrows were pulled down. And then these things were put
I
up.
didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah.
No, that's fine. Okay. That makes more sense how that was missed then. Were those the only two bodies that they found outside of the battle site?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the other bodies were at the battle site.
And where were those people before? Were those people part of that group?
Yeah. That's
They
the
were
Heinrich is the guy that Maximilian asked if he was found at the
Okay,
battle
yeah.
site.
They
And
were part of that wagon.
yeah,
train.
Heinrich was essentially in charge of the wagon to make sure it got there safely.
Okay. Were they if they were out in the fields, were they like close to the forest line then? Or
They moved out of the fields where the wagons and everyone was killed. The wagons, they were into the forested section, so the trail kind of cut through a forest.
Okay.
Then the forest is what kind of like the buffer between Swansea and Vorburg.
Okay.
And there's just this this road that goes through it, and it was maybe a mile or so inside the road. So it was maybe what did I say, like a 3-hour ride from Vorburg to where this wagon was ambushed.
Okay.
So it was just one of the things that Andre did mention is that one of the things that Andre mentioned was that the ambush where it's at would have happened in the morning, like in broad daylight, and that's wildly strange. So that's kind of why they thought it was bandits at first, but after looking it over,
they think it's mutants.
They think it's mutants.
I feel like there might be some merit for us to maybe revisit and investigate that scene a little more thoroughly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys they'll let you.
I think we'd have enough time. If it's still morning, I think we'd have enough time to go out there.
You would make
around
it
for a
back
few
probably
hours.
around dinner time.
Yeah.
If
and
you
we'd
left.
still have time to talk to people in town.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with doing that.
Okay. Now, is that what you want to do?
Investigate the wagon.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
We're gonna do. There's one of the ruling things here in Zweihander. There's travel rules that we're gonna go off of, and we're gonna go ahead and do that. And the way it works is there's 3 positions when traveling. There's a scout, there's the guide, and then there's the other thing.
Is there any way that we can travel with? Because their payload or whatever was still out there, right?
Their payload's there, and they're kind of set on leaving it there. They don't feel that it's. They don't feel that it's under threat of getting stolen at this point.
Okay.
Because.
There's a lot of bodies around it.
Yeah, there's a lot of bodies there. There's orcs in the area. And if someone were to do that, they would have to have extra horses to pull the wagon that the bales of hemp are in. So until they get this situated, Maximilian's just like, it's not safe to try and go get those things and take them over. So
Okay, that's fair.
so we need a guide to kind of lead the way, a scout to make sure it's safe, and then a survivalist kind of responsible for camp, for food, making sure everyone's okay. So the guide, their main skill they're going to roll on is navigation. Survivalist is survival, and the scout is stealth. So which one of you is best at which of those?
Well, I dibs on the survival because I auto pass all survival checks.
What skill is that again? What talent?
Let me double check. It's it's my trait.
It's a trait. It's
yes,
a human trait.
7th sense, human trait.
I don't think that's how that works.
Damn, because it says it was just always succeed survival tests.
Using your sense of smell to track others, you always succeed at survival tests. It's page 33 in the book if you want to double check.
I had in my head those were different.
Is it navigation, survival, and what?
Stealth.
Stealth.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're tracking someone, like if you have to hunt someone down through the forest, then you're going to auto succeed. But for this, you'd still have to roll it.
I don't know why I thought that was like a comma. Like
0.
Oh yeah, like
0 for
yeah, no.
survivalism.
Anyway, so who's going to be the scout?
You have stealth though.
Well, it's plus 20 in urban areas.
Yeah. I still
So
think that's more in character.
who's the guide?
So he's doing survival.
Dan's doing survival.
maybe. What's survival even under? Perception.
I'll do navigation.
Okay. And that means scout. Chris, you're the scout.
Yeah.
So first part of traveling over land is you got to make a toughness check.
I basically suck at all of it. So.
And we're going to call it an easy check. So we're going to call it routine. So you're essentially treat your score as being 10 higher than what it is.
And this is on brawn?
This is toughness. Toughness is brawn, yeah. So what's your brawn score, Joe?
The brawn is 37.
And are you trained in toughness? You have skill rank in toughness?
Do not believe so.
Okay, so it'll be a 37 for you, and since this is a routine check, you're going to treat it as you have a 47.
Okay. I rolled 27.
So you pass. Chris,
I passed.
Dan, your toughness check. This is a routine.
Thank goodness. So I still blew it.
Oh, okay. So Dan,
Oh,
the three of you, you're moving through the woods, but just Dan, you're really worried about the orcs or the mutants in the area getting you. You're gonna take 5 peril, 5 mental peril, just the stress and the fear of traveling through
Okay.
this.
Thankfully, my threshold is higher, so that doesn't do anything.
Good.
for me.
All right, Joe, what was yours again? Yours was the
Navigator.
roll that navigation check.
And the Garmin.
That's right.
Those are a thing still, right? 13.9. I don't have a skill in it.
So yeah, you just got to roll
Is it-
under that 39 then.
Well, I rolled a 39. Which is it perception?
It's under intelligence.
Intelligence?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all maybe need to.
Is there any
rethink things that
modifier
way.
on this?
Nope.
No.
It's
Just
just
depends.
flat?
It depends on the
Just
check,
flat.
basically. If
Well,
it's
I failed.
Okay, that's good because if you notice, there's a little asterisk next to navigation as well. So that's a flip to fail if you're not trained in it. So you actually rolled a 93.
oh,
So
well,
oh. s-
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So if you rolled higher, it would have been better.
it would have been still bad.
Oh, so you have to like critical success.
Well, no, when you have
would-
flip
would
to fail,
flip it,
so
and
he
then
rolled
you
a
would take whichever
so-
of the two is
Higher.
lower.
yeah. Well,
To
so
or
no.
higher to fail.
Okay, stop.
Yeah.
So he rolled a 39. Since it's flip to fail, it swaps the numbers and it becomes a 93.
Mhm.
If you had flip to succeed, it would take that 93 and flip it to a 39.
Oh, I'm sorry. So if he rolled under, he'd still succeed. Never mind.
If he rolled under,
He wouldn't have to flip.
no, he still would because
He
he's
still has
not
to flip.
trained in navigation.
So even if. So he needs to roll a really low 1
Yeah,
category.
yeah, he needs to roll really low in tens and singles. Chris,
Fuck. Okay, I got it. It took me a minute to wrap my head around it. So
Yeah.
you need to roll like an 11.
So I'm
it
rolling
stays at
my
11.
stealth
or,
check.
or,
Hey!
or a 12, because then it turned into a
So
21.
TT2K.
what are you doing watching us
Oh,
while you're at Gen
crap.
Con? Or are you at Gen Con? Did you leave for the night? I know you were there during the day.
Oh, that's not gonna be good. That's not gonna be good.
What were you rolling, Chris?
We're just a bunch of bumbling
Stealth?
idiots.
I got a 59,
Okay.
and my agility is only 40.
Next time, I should roll for this stuff.
Dan, roll that survival.
Yeah, because I'm. This is actually one of my worst traits. So, but I did okay.
I think we all chose
I got 19,
the worst ones
Okay.
so I passed.
for ourselves.
Yeah.
We sure did.
You did.
Because my agility is 50.
Well, since this is usually when we're doing longer travels, there's a bunch of stuff that can go on. Since we're not doing that,
This is a good opportunity to screw up and not have it hurt so
Wasn't
bad.
really good at any of them.
you guys are going to take
Still.
11
intelligence is-
peril from Joe's failure,
Oh, fuck.
Perception was the highest.
and then 8 peril from Chris's failure.
Dang it.
We all take this.
11, yeah, everyone takes it. 11,
Wait, so I'm confused. So if you say your peril threshold 6,
right?
and then you take 5,
Then
and
it
you
Nothing
take
doesn't,
5
it doesn't
again.
do anything.
Nothing
It
happens.
doesn't do anything.
No.
They don't.
Both
They're
times.
not stacking.
It just has to exceed the threshold per
Each
camp.
individual number would have to exceed it. So, what was your peril?
So we got
11,
11 and 8.
and then 8.
So my second peril threshold is 12.
So you
Okay.
only move down 1 point.
What's your first peril?
6.
So you move down twice.
I moved down twice.
Yeah,
Once
one
for each.
One for
By
each.
one.
Yes,
One
exactly.
for each, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said we got 8 and 11, so I moved down 2 as well.
Yeah, as did I.
Crap.
Mothership is Janov. Mothership. I've got the PDF for it, and we're gonna play it sometime. Because Mothership, it's a little indie RPG. It just won something at the Ennies tonight, and it's a think like aliens. It's like horror, suspense, sci-fi, survival RPG.
Hmm.
So
Nice.
Fun.
yeah. So you guys make it to. So Joe, that moves you down to ignore one skill rank.
Yeah, we're all at ignore one skill rank.
Okay, so essentially
So you start at the first.
you started at unhindered.
Okay.
And I don't remember how we improve peril. Is it just resting?
Resting in a safe place, or there's some drugs and shit you can take to fix your peril. Like if you do smelling salts, it'll fix that. Like it'll move you one step up.
How
Nice.
many steps up do you go from sleeping? Resting.
You go if it's resting in a safe place,
Mhm.
you're maxed out.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad.
Yeah, if you're resting in a not so safe place, you can only go up to imperiled.
I forgot that 2 sessions ago I drank my character into a coma.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that explains why I did absolutely nothing last time.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's an in-game reason.
Yeah.
I did the same thing, but I wasn't here last time.
Yeah, he wasn't either, so it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 2 drunk people just conveniently
Oh, right, yeah.
missed.
We had hangovers, just stayed in bed.
Yeah. In game.
And then I climbed a mountain in real life.
There you go.
Wow.
All right, guys. So you make it to this battlefield, and by now, flies are thick in the air. Bodies are starting to bloat. There's a horrible stench, but you see the wagon, still with the bale of hay unhindered, or like not fucked with, and then you see the corpses all over the ground. You see the horses; they're dead too, lying still halfway entangled in their brittles and whatever the fuck the shit is that tie horses to wagons.
Okay.
So.
They're griddles and yokes.
One question I have
I
is
said a wrong word there.
the quantity and marksmanship of the arrows. Does it seem like everyone was shot like multiple times to be brought down?
Oh yeah,
or, like,
they were
shot-
like
peppered.
Yeah,
Okay.
like it was just a hail of arrows.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
I kind of want to pick up some of those arrows because I realize aside from the fact that I use arrows.
You got a crossbow.
Oh yeah, I use bolts.
You use
But-
bolts.
Maybe I can trade some in.
I want to
But
look
also
into...
just as a reference, so we can see like when we get to their encampment if they have similar looking arrows.
I'll get the serial numbers off these.
Demir, 1983,
That's right.
my friend. I have to argue against you. Does this say it? Right here. The game we're playing tonight won Ennie's Gold last year, so they get it right sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, there's arrows all over, so you'd be able to.
We'll gather some up and we can use them as a point of reference.
Okay.
And
Do they seem like crudely made arrows or?
Oh yeah, they're rough.
Rough.
Definitely, they're all fleshed with black feathers, hand carved shaft. It looks like. Some of them don't even have metal heads. Some of them have like stone heads attached to them. Other ones look like maybe the heads were refitted from scavenged arrows. And some of them are really crudely forged.
I want to kind of
some
like
of them are
study
just sharpened
the.
sticks.
Yeah, some of them are. Some of them don't have an actual point. They're.
I want to study like the little.
They're blanks.
It'd be interesting
I
to know
assume
what
they
the
hit
angle.
the ground at a little bit of an angle, so I want to like look at that and see like what direction they came from.
I feel like
Roll me a.
That's
You're
a
gonna have
really-
to do a warfare check on
That's a
that.
really good thought, though.
A warfare check.
Yeah, and that's going to be. I'm going to make that a challenging test. And warfare is under intelligence, and it's flip to fail.
Oh, balls. What can I think with him on it?
You can. Are you trained in warfare?
Sure aren't. So,
Then no. If they're the few skills that have the little asterisk, you have to be trained in it to help someone on it.
okay.
And if you're doing it and you're not trained in it, then it's flip to fail.
Right.
And guess what? We all get to ignore a skill rank in it. So
Yeah. The only thing having that skill rank would do for you
Warfare.
right now is
Plus
keep
10.
you from would not right now. You have to ignore it.
that's why.
It would keep you from flipping to fail right now.
So it's challenging, and I have to flip to fail.
Yeah.
What does helping do in this?
Well, I meant to.
What help does is if it's a skill that doesn't require training or you're trained in it, you just give them your percentile, your tens die, and then they roll the 3 dice, and they have to use their single digits, and then they can pick whichever one of the tens that's lowest, and they can use that.
Okay.
So
you know what I realized? If
I
it's
meant
flip
can
to
I make the same
fail,
check?
if you want to do it yourself, then yes.
Yeah.
Chris, go ahead.
I realized I just can't succeed at this.
What is that?
Because if it's flip to fail,
If you roll
like
low
your
on the ones,
your skill would have to be over 50 for you to succeed at it.
not necessarily. If you roll low in your ones,
Roll it. Just roll it.
I
Well,
actually
then that-
rolled really well
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess.
because
No.
I rolled a 10,
I rolled.
What? Just a flat 10?
just a flat 10.
Then you're going to pass it.
Yeah.
Because 10 becomes 10.
Yeah, and it stays 10.
Okay.
So I got lucky because
It looks like the arrows, like Chris, you explain what you're looking for.
I at least use arrows often.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dan's character, one of these days I'm going to learn your character's names. Emil,
Yeah.
I'm like, there has to be a little bit of an angle to
you study where
from the direction they came from.
how the arrows hit people. It looks like it was an ambush on both sides.
Okay.
And there's not much of a
Oh, so
pitch
they're all
to it.
just sort of like
So it's probably just like
They're probably a handful of yards off in the trees, and they just
shot in.
rained arrows in. And it's
We-
definitely more arrows than would probably be necessary.
Might be worth it just to meander around in the trees where it looks like the arrows
Like
might have come
pull
from
an
to see
arrow
if
up
there's like some like footprints or something like that
Um,
that might be
I'm going to make you, if you want to do that,
distinguishable.
I'm going to make you roll 2 checks.
Okay.
The first one,
I assume
uh,
there was a lot of people to shoot this many arrows, so
the first one I'm going to make you roll a scrutinize.
no balls.
First, we'll roll an awareness check first for you to even find out where, like, a rough origin point for these arrows.
Okay. Sadly, that is one thing I'm actually trained in and can't use,
Oh, well,
What is?
and did not pass.
Okay.
Oh no, I did. That's a 16.
okay.
Sorry.
What's up, Joe?
I'm trained in scrutinize, so I can help you with that.
So yeah, if you want to, I believe tracking would be scrutinized.
If I get my awareness, then scrutinize.
Yep. I roll a 3 in my tens.
I rolled an 81, so if I
31.
yeah, if I can take his 3 and replace my 8.
Are you rolling it or are you helping
Yeah,
him?
I'm helping.
Okay, what
He's
was
trained in
what
it.
did you get?
I got an 81.
And you rolled a
A 30. I got a 0. Is that 40 or 30?
what did you roll?
A 3 and a 10.
You're helping him?
So
I'm helping.
he's,
He had a-
he's
he had
actually
a-
trained.
I'm
in it.
trained in scrutinize and I'm helping.
He rolled 30 in the 10s and a 0 on the 1s.
So yours would be
Percentile
31.
confused me.
Yes.
Okay. When you need to help someone, don't roll your single digits die.
Just roll your 10.
Okay.
Just roll your tens. And actually you can
Okay.
just if the way we did it when Dan Fox was showing
I
us,
would roll it.
he said just give him your tens die. And then that person Dan would have rolled all 3. And then he could pick the tens die that was lowest.
Okay. Next
That
time.
makes sense.
You do actually find some tracks off in the woods. And you can how much do you want to follow them?
The first thing I kind of want to get a figure of it is like, I don't know that I know a whole lot about orcs. I assume they're kind of bigger. Like, do they look like they're like the size of the footprints? Do they seem small or?
They're big they're big footprints.
Big
Yeah,
footprints.
they would be larger and heavier than a man. Probably you're looking at like ogre size almost. An
Okay.
ogre's a playable race in here,
Mhm.
but I mean you're thinking like 8 to 10 feet tall people.
Okay, so they're definitely not like people who are looking like orcs.
Mm.
No, these are definitely giant
I'm also
Monstrous
gonna
tracks.
Maybe
pull
just
one of the arrows
maybe
and
just
hang on to
a
it.
little bit. We'll try and track them back.
Okay.
I don't want to get too far off the road.
So they said nothing was taken.
Nothing
Nothing was
was taken,
taken.
but people's lives.
There are dead people here.
Let's do
Life
another
was
scrutinize
taken.
check to follow.
All right.
Can I
Yeah, that's
have your assistance one more time?
On what? Scrutinize?
Scrutinize.
Yeah. So just give him your tens die.
That way I can fuck it up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's zeros.
All
All
zeros.
zeros.
All 3 fucking dice are zeros.
I got a 60 on mine, but my ones is a 0 and Joe's is 00.
So you got a 60
Yeah.
because double zeros.
Or 100.
Yeah. All zeros is 100.
So the lowest you can roll is a 1.
The way it's 0, 0, 1 is 1. 0, 0, and then 0 is 100.
What if you have 009 then?
That's a 9.
No. Okay.
Okay, so if I had literally just rolled anything other than a 0 on my 10 die, this would have been great. Or my singles die.
Yeah, you would have been great.
Fuck.
But you have to use yours then, so you got a 60.
Yeah,
Does that pass?
sure doesn't.
Okay, you guys, you're not able to. There's meandering around in here, but you can't tell what direction they broke off on. Make sense, Joe?
Yeah. So let's say if you roll a 30 and then a 0.
30.
It's 30. Okay.
It's 30.
I don't mess with percentiles enough.
I don't, and well, you guys know when I did my percentile tables before, I prefer rolling it
0 to 99.
0 to 99 because that's how
Yeah.
the fucking dice work.
Yeah, that's what makes sense to me.
If it's zeros, it's 0, and if it's 99, it's 99.
Right, and that's.
Yeah.
And I suppose we could do that for this game if it keeps us straight for us, but I mean it's
That's
The
why
same-
that's why I was really excited for a second there. I was like,
Right.
oh,
yeah. No, in this
Well,
game,
I think he does it 1 to 100 because it works better with the way that he does crits.
yeah. Well, the way he does crits is
is
doubles are crits
Doubles are crits.
1 is a
0 is a
crit,
crit,
and
or
100
1
is a crit.
and 100 is a crit. Yeah.
I was really excited.
Just
Thinking
thinking, like-
I crit succeeded as hard as possible, but it wasn't true.
And because there's certain situations where it might be impossible for you to succeed or fail, but like a 1 is always a critical success, and a 100 is always a critical failure.
Anyway, so you guys return back to the wagons after not being able to follow off where that trail broke off to.
Okay. Well, at least my original concern was just like getting an idea of the size of their footprints and some of the
Yeah,
things
I'd be
like
more like I wouldn't really care where they went
Yeah.
because it's such
Just
a long time
If
ago.
it felt like if I went like this, and I think that they're kind of going approximately the direction. Chuck,
Say that
if I can go like this and say that it looks like they're kind of going that direction, which
you're not able to.
not even like this is just the way I walked when I followed their footprints.
Well, you found the footprints, and you found the footprints were kind of milling around. You were able to get a size of the footprint, but you weren't able to find what direction they came or left from.
Okay, it's just like it's
Yeah.
all
That
over the
scene
place.
from Home on
Yeah.
the Range. that
You could make
horrible
an
movie.
educated guess. You know where Maximilian and Waldman think their
There's a
camp
scene.
is,
They're
and so
tracking
you
something.
could say, I think if they would have come this way, they would have gone that
The
direction,
tracks
but
is
you're not
anyway.
able to tell by the tracks.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking. It's like if I know where the direction that we think they came from
It's
is,
worse
and if the
being
footprints look like they went that way, then I'm probably just gonna say, yeah, that's
So the
probably what
scene of
happened
Him just
Yeah.
at this
running
point.
around in circles like
Yeah.
crazy, and, like the entire.
All right. So you guys doing anything else here?
Anything else? None of these people were killed from like weapons other than the arrows, like no stabbies or slashies or.
They're
pokies?
the majority of them were killed. If you want to do a heal check, I'll let you look over the bodies to see if you can find.
Man, you need to give me checks that are not perception or intelligence check. You're killing me.
Sorry, that's when you're looking for things and trying to figure things out.
Wonder why we skipped over the part where we were looking for things.
Yeah.
Because we suck at it. Hey, that's a 22.
Okay, that's a critical success.
Nice.
So, looking around,
Unless that's difficulty or something.
It's like,
I
well,
got
this
it,
one's
so.
name
yeah, you
was
got it. I'm
Key,
gonna let you keep that.
and he's over there.
Yeah, critical
we
success.
Just see a guy like peeking
You
out.
find
Why did
the
you-
majority
Well,
of
his dental
them
records say that.
were killed with arrow fire. The horses had their throats slit. And there are a few of the bodies here that looks like they didn't die, or you can see where like maybe they crawled or something on the ground, and then it looks like someone either stabbed them down, like stabbed them with something
Like
to finish them off.
Knock them up.
Yeah. Or there's a couple of them that, there's like maybe a person that looks like their head was bludgeoned in or some shit like that.
So,
But it looks like they were
Potentially.
dropped with the arrows first, and then someone just came in and finished it up. Yeah.
seems like potentially crude weaponry.
Um,
If you say they're like bludgeoned.
yeah, you could. The cuts are all kind of jagged and they rip some, so their blades weren't sharp, well honed.
Yeah.
The one who had its head bludgeoned in, it looks like they were hit a good number of times. I mean, it's just gore everywhere, so you're not able to pick up anything.
You got Glenn on.
Yeah, they got Glenned on
Oh,
The Walking Dead.
This is rough.
Exactly, Joe.
Yeah.
So,
dumb question. These guys probably had weapons on them before they were killed. Do they still have weapons on them?
let's see.
They probably had nice weapons, and depending on who killed them, maybe they're nicer than the weapons that they started with when they killed them. Do they take puny human weapons?
It's vibrate. Is that you, Joe?
What is me?
Calm your phone down. Tell them to calm
know.
down.
I need to.
Shh, shh, shh.
Stop it, phone. I'm playing.
Actually, they have been stripped of weapons. That was an incorrect statement of me earlier. Any like daggers or swords or anything are missing.
Okay. Do any of them have ammo?
Roll me a percentile. You say high or low. Nope.
Oh, sorry. Let me re-roll it. I'm gonna add randomness to this.
What are you
Evens it's high, odds it's low.
What is that?
I do 6.
Okay.
It's odds, so low. That is not low. That is
Okay.
96.
It looks like if there, any of them
So
had ammo
did.
with it, it was taken as well.
I wanted to fully randomize the chance.
Okay.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, their weapons have been stripped. Any ammo they had is gone. But valuables, maybe you find some coin on them. Maybe you find a little bit of jewelry or something.
Okay, well, I'll probably shamelessly take that.
That's fine. Why don't you roll me a percentile?
Watch this. 65.
You find 65 brass pennies.
Yeah.
And stealing from the dead is also pretty rough, so take 2 corruption.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. And I now understand how that mechanic works, so.
Ah.
All right, so you guys ready to head back to town?
They're dead. They don't need it.
I mean, correct, but stealing from the dead still gets you corruption.
Yeah.
That's fair. Now we've had an excuse to use it correctly,
Yep,
even though I'm
that's
trying
right,
So-
Demir. Dirty,
Is
dirty.
there any way I can like pile all the bodies up and burn them or something? Just get rid of them. How many are there? Is it like a,
Does he
like,
get corruption because he's just doing it to get rid of them?
6. There's
Yeah,
6
I was
people,
gonna say,
6
this-
bodies here.
So it's- okay, that's not a whole lot.
I actually thought about that too, because this could get pretty gross pretty quickly here.
Yeah. You don't. I've watched Shield Hero. You don't leave bodies out.
You can
There's
do
gotta be
that.
wild animals and all sorts of shit going on.
This is one thing you got to keep in mind. This is like the setting. Think like Renaissance era Europe.
Hmm.
it's pretty heavy in the monotheism era. So like there's one deity that everyone worships in the world.
Mhm.
There are multiple deities.
Named Mono.
Yeah. There are all the old deities, but if you get caught worshiping those, the church will come after you. The default setting in the book, it's called the God Emperor, is the main deity. When we move off into my own campaign, it's not going to be called that. I might just go straight up real world style antics and just call it like the Christian. That way I can just rip shit from history, copy pasta that shit.
Yeah, insert one Jesus, then remove.
Yeah.
We need to start worshiping other gods.
Okay.
So here's the thing, though. Burning all of those bodies, what are you? You're a
jailer.
A jailer. You would know that last rites would probably, before disposing of the body, the people here would be, if they have any hopes of reaching,
They'd be upset for
the-
having their bodies burned.
afterlife. Yeah, you need a priest or a holy man here to do
Oh.
their final rites send offs. So you can do this, yes, if you think it's something that needs to be done. But I'm going to make you take a corruption.
Do we have a mechanism to bring the bodies
I
back
should
with
let
us?
you know
Not
I
right now.
am an order.
Not
No,
You would have to go back and get a wagon.
Okay.
I'm not.
You guys just rode out on the 3 horses that Maximilian's loaning you.
Yeah, we couldn't like sling some bodies across them.
You could, but these bodies have been sitting here for
Yeah,
a few
I'm not
days.
doing
Are they a
that.
little mushy?
They're getting mushy.
Okay, yeah, I don't need any
No,
dead body
plump.
soup on mine.
They're definitely plump,
Yeah.
leaking a little bit.
Yeah, no.
Maybe
Maybe,
we'll get
maybe,
juices.
Plump, leaky bodies.
maybe we can all drag them
Gross.
to the side of the road so they're at least not on the road anymore.
You could definitely do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Andre and you guys already kind of did that, so you guys could get the wagons through.
Okay.
So the road is clear enough. If you guys wanted to move them further off and maybe put them in a little bit more dignified positions,
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we can do that.
that would be fine. I'll say it's going to take you like an hour to do, but
Okay.
you're not going to net any corruption for this.
Yeah.
So
It just seems wrong. Like
just leaving them there.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit. Maybe we can push the horses.
Very right.
Maybe we can burn the horses.
Like lean them against a tree, shooting. finger
Burning the
guns.
horses would be okay. Now the thing is, yeah, burning the horses would be fine. You do think that the smoke might draw attention.
That's fine. We'll
So-
be gone.
Okay. So
We'll
you
do that last.
move the bodies off to the side and maybe get some twigs and build some fires up under the horses.
Mhm.
You would all have to move together in concert to drag these horses. I mean, horses are fucking big, and there's 2 of them.
Mhm.
I should make you guys make an athletics check for that.
I think the 3 of us can do it.
You shouldn't make us make that.
Yep, all of you make athletics checks.
Standard or
We'll just go standard.
I don't have athleticism.
Joe, did you pass?
I did not.
That's okay.
yeah, I missed also, just barely.
Athleticism.
I'm not an athleticist.
What you said? Standard.
Yep,
Yeah.
standard.
I was hoping you wouldn't say standard.
2.
All right. You guys managed to drag the first horse off to the side.
Get to roll again for the next one.
Yeah, since you guys rolled so poorly, I'm gonna hang
You
on.
guys like fall over halfway through, and I just drag it the rest of the
Right.
way.
Those of you that failed take 9 peril
Oh,
Oh shit.
from the exhaustion and exertion of.
this is what we get for trying to do a good deed.
Yeah, right.
One thing that we should do for these character sheets, and it's what the Zweihander crew does. They put tape, like packing tape, over their peril and their
You
damage.
Just dry erase it.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that way they can.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, that way they're not
That's a
erasing
good
it.
idea on like any character sheet.
Yeah, for like HP and shit.
We could
Yeah.
possibly look
Yeah.
at see another idea I actually had along those lines is you might be able to get just a clear sheet of plastic and then you could just lay it over
There
your
are
character sheet.
actually snappable dry erase
Like transparency
sheet
sort of
covers
Yeah.
for binders.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Any of those would work.
Because then you could still rewrite your sheet and stuff if you need to, and not have to remake it all the time.
That's true. Because there is a chance that your peril and your damage thresholds will increase as you get advancements.
So I'll look into that. That could
Roll
be
that
useful.
athletics again.
Good job, me.
Joe?
10.
Good.
39.
Is that a pass?
Yes.
Chris?
3.
Wait. It's Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Did you fail?
By 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I failed my first one by 4.
You take 10 peril. What are you at?
Ignore 2 skill ranks.
You should be at ignore 3 skill ranks now.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Shit.
I hate to do you like that, Joe.
Well, the
No.
nice thing is since you guys are still at
If
the
Joe fails again, he's gonna pass out.
well, no, you'll reach incapacitated. The thing that it was explained to me, incapacitated doesn't mean you passed out. It just means you're so frazzled you can't do anything.
Oh.
So
So he can still ride a horse, but he can't ride a cowboy.
yes, exactly.
So he's like the 12-year-old on vacation that doesn't want to go anywhere.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So you're not dead to the world. Just you can't make any checks,
Mhm.
and yeah.
We are in a position where we can take a break at any god-given time.
Right. I was going to say, why don't we head back to town? You guys move the horses off to the side, you get the fire started, and then you head back to town. And then we'll go on our little break, and when we come back, we'll start back off in town.
All right.
So, Twitch people, we're going to be gone for like 5 minutes. Pretty much, we're going to go grab some pizza and come back and get back into it. YouTube people, give us a couple days and we'll be back. Everyone, thank you for watching. Like I said, Twitch people, don't go anywhere. And until we catch you again, start fires, do drugs, and tip your bartenders.